Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Friday Film School. Have you ever had this experience after writing a screenplay where you notice that your secondary characters seem more fun and engaging than your main character? If this is the case, your screenplay might be suffering from a condition called secondary character superiority. And I'm here to give you some tips to help you solve this problem. First, ask yourself this question. Is the secondary character more interesting because you should be telling the story from their perspective? If that's the case, after a short period of mourning, some soul searching, and maybe even a little tantrum throwing, if you're going to throw a tantrum, do it in private. Nobody likes people who throw tantrums to get what they want. Rewrite the script from the perspective of the secondary character. And there you go, problem solved. However, if it turns out that your secondary character only works as a secondary character, you still have to figure out what to do with your main character. I have heard many stories about actors who have passed on a screenplay just because they thought that their character was going to be overshadowed by the secondary character. The good news is there are solutions, workarounds, and things you can do to make your main character more interesting. Now, I cannot speak for you, but personally, I tend to get very invested in my main characters. Heck, I even like them a lot. Now, what's the one thing that happens with people that you like in real life? Again, I'm speaking for myself when I say this, but I really don't want anything bad to happen to a person that I really like. So I reflexively make things easier for them. You know what happens when a writer makes things easy for their primary character? Sometimes the audience gets bored. A lot of us watch movies or TV shows to get away from our regular lives for a little while. As humans, though, we possess this voyeuristic tendency where we like to watch the trials and tribulations of other people just to forget our own problems for a little while. So, when the main character's problems are solved too easily or things just happen for them without any consequences, audiences tend to disconnect. They tend to not care about this person anymore. Or even worse, they start to actually dislike the main character. Now, this is not so much of a problem in a movie because 2 hours and it's done, right? But if audiences are no longer interested in the main character in a TV show, that becomes a problem because they will not watch anymore. They start saying things like, oh, this guy, he gets away with everything. Or this one, she's the Kim of the show. How is she not dead yet? In case you're wondering who Kim is, that would be Kim Bauer, the daughter of Jack Bauer from the TV show 24. Jack Bauer was this kick-ass counterterrorism agent and Kim was his daughter. While Jack was saving the world season after season, Kim was doing the stupidest things possible. In fact, it is a complete miracle that that character survived 8 seasons of that show when so many others were killed along the way. If your main character is coming across as slightly boring, it might be because they haven't been challenged enough. And audiences like to root for a character that exhibits resourcefulness and courage in the face of adversity. Because they are secondary characters, they are often seen through a single lens that also becomes their signature. Like a friend who's obsessed with video games, or a roommate who sees people's auras, or a younger sister who is sarcastic about everything. When this is done right, it comes across as super focused. Every single time you encounter this character, no matter what situation they are in, you know how they're going to react, and that makes them fun and memorable. It can also make them feel comforting, like your favorite character in a sitcom. So if your secondary character is the roommate who is perpetually heartbroken because she's single, and still she is a very good friend to your main character, you can find so many situations to place her in that make her fun and relatable. So when the audience can see that this person is actually trying to be a good friend, to live life to the fullest, and yes, to also find a romantic partner, that character immediately becomes empathetic and likable. Writers are okay with making their secondary characters silly, goofy, annoying, or downright unlikable. Lead characters tend to be handled more delicately. When you fall in love with your main character, it becomes very difficult to give them bad habits or traits that you would not like in a person. In a sense, they become an idealized version of a person. Maybe yourself, I don't know, I'm not a therapist. But this can become a problem. So try this the next time you find your main character becoming boring or less interesting than the secondary characters. Give them a flaw. Because they have this quality that you do not like in people, you will be less afraid to put them in bad situations. For example, let's say our main character is an advertising executive who is stuck in traffic on the day of an important meeting, but she knows an alternate route. That's too easy. So the different route has been dug up and she only finds out when she's halfway there. Now she has to turn around and go back to rejoin traffic. We know this is bad because she has to get to that meeting on time. She spots a man on a bicycle and asks to borrow his bike. He refuses. She offers to pay him. He still says no. So she steals his bike and pedals away as fast as she can. Now we can tell that this woman will do anything to get what she wants. We also realize that she can be very selfish. So think about this for a moment. How would you make things difficult for this woman? What situations would you put her in so that the audience is still rooting for her even when she exhibits bad behavior? When you succeed at creating a memorable main character, you help yourself because you're likely to be able to attract the attention of a credible actor, which opens the doors for getting producers and directors on board and making the project a potential reality. This is something that is worth mentioning. If, as the originator of a project, you are able to do multiple things to make a project a reality, you are far ahead of everybody else who is trying to get a foothold in this industry. If you found this video useful, please tap that like button. It really helps us out. Please also consider subscribing to this channel, and if you're already subscribed, please hit that bell notification so that you are made aware the next time we upload a video. Thank you for watching, and good luck with whatever project you're working on currently.